It's easy to look around and notice everything wrong in your city. In this podcast by Every Neighborhood Partnership, join Grace and Andrew as they invite friends, activists, pastors, leaders, and city workers to discover what's good in the neighborhood. Join us for insightful conversations that will encourage you to see your city and its people in a new way.
Welcome to What's Good in the Neighborhood. My name is Andrew File.
Hey, Andrew. I am Grace Berg.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, are we the co-hosts of What's Good in the Neighborhood?
Apparently we are. Welcome. We're really excited about the launch of an EMP podcast. We've been thinking and kind of contemplating on this for a while, and this is a new space for us. So we're glad you're joining.
Yeah, this is so much fun. It really was birthed out of we have so much that we do here. And often when I find myself in conversation with people, they're like, what is it? What do you do? And so hopefully the podcast can be an easy and accessible way for people to kind of glean in here from our heart and our heart for the city and what we do.
Yeah. And I think, one of the joys our organization has a learning posture, right? And so that has been something that's set us apart or been a distinctive, I would say, of our organization. And we get to hang out with so many amazing people.
Right.
So EMP is very connected in our city, and we enter a lot of different spaces. And so I always spend my day, as I reflect on it at the end of the day going, man, I hung out with some awesome people who love this place and are making really impactful, transformational work. This will also be a place for you to hear from them and learn from them and grow together.
Mm-hmm. So good. Well, before we really give the people a lay of the land, we should probably let them know who we are.
Yes.
So Andrew, give us a little intro. Tell us about you.
Yeah. So Andrew File, Executive Director. I've been the Executive Director here for a couple of years, about 3 years. And then been on staff for about 8 years. I was a pastor before that and a high school teacher for a year.
I did know that. I'm like, wait, what?
But yeah, as somebody that has deeply I'm from Bakersfield, California, and has deeply come to love and appreciate the city. And just am grateful to be a part of the work that we do. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So
I'm an old school podcaster. So
yes.
This is kind of, I had one back in the day. It was about 20 years ago or so. But now, yeah, really excited. This is the right moment for us.
So good. We're both transplants. And I'm also from Bakersfield, which is fun. Bako. But yeah, my family and I moved here 2 years ago. And so here at EMP, I'm development and communications coordinator. I get to tell people about what we do and also get people excited about what we do. And so the podcast is the perfect platform for us to do that together. I come from parachurch, nonprofit organization spaces for the last 10, 12 years. So it's fun to now be here and do this. So yeah.
Well, we gave it the name What's Good in the Neighborhood, I think, for a couple of reasons. One, we're a neighborhood, place-based kind of work. So that is how we think about the city, right? We think about the elementary schools, those boundaries. We think about place all the time. So neighborhood matters and change happens at a neighborhood level and then a city, state, nationwide level. And then I think also is you're going to hear as we do some of our intro series, we really think we have an asset-based approach to how we see the world. There's some amazing, Fresno's got the statistics, right? It has the negative things that get known nationally, but it's an amazing place. And there's a lot of good to be celebrated, to be highlighted. And we're also going to talk about the pain. We're also going to talk about the trouble, but we're always going to lean towards a really man, how do we be part of this?
Yes. As you and I have chatted, it's really come down to 4 main ideas that we will hope would be connect every single episode. Is we really want to be relational, like you just talked about. We're going to talk about not only with our guests and it just be a very conversational platform and space together, but we want to be connected. We want to talk about those partners and those amazing people that we get to interface with. We're going to talk about, I think one of my favorite things about EMP is often you or someone else will say, well, we've been connected to this organization or this person for this many years. I'm like, what? There's just a whole web and network of things that are happening in our city. Hopefully they can create some type of roadmap for others in other cities. And then we want to be contextual. We are hyper fixated and we love Fresno. And we really want to just talk about that. And like you were saying earlier, that it would bring love up for other people and where they live. Yep. And then the last one is curious. We want to stay curious as we have conversations. There are things that we stand for. These are our values. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. But at the end of the day, in this space, in this conversation, we really want to stay curious.
Yeah. And I think for that, we're going to have folks across the spectrum, right? So we're going to have folks that, a lot of our staff come from a Jesus-centered worldview. And so we'll have folks that really express and anchor in that position. And we're going to have folks that don't love Jesus but are really doing important things. And we are going to partner with people of good faith and a goodwill. And so we're going to have conversations maybe where even they push back on us, right? Or there'll just be a little bit of tension in the room, and that's okay. Because city transformation takes everybody.
Yes, that's so good. Our first series, we're pretty solely planted in this idea of in Fresno as it is in heaven, which we'll talk about more in a minute. So that one will probably feel the most Jesus-centered of what we do, but I'm sure we're going to bounce all around and come back to it quite often. So that's great.
And I think we'll explore topics. And obviously along this way, we love feedback. So, please give us comments and feedback of what you'd love to see. But we'll be talking about, what does justice look like in our city? Racial justice, biblical justice. How do we partner? What is, when we think about poverty, what is poverty? How do you alleviate poverty? So we really look to span the gamut of people and topics that are pressing as we think about city transformation.
Yep, so good. Well, like I said earlier, our first series is in Fresno as it is in heaven. In one sentence, Andrew, what can people expect from that series?
I think of it really as a foundational series. So these are the worldviews, the ideas that have shaped us. So as even as I came in as executive director, started doing a little mining and just said, what are the philosophies that have really undergirded us? And that is really hey, God is already at work in this city. It's our job to love and get involved and find our own transformation in this city.
Yeah.
Along with, a framework around asset-based community development and Christian community development and trauma-informed practices. All these practices really have shaped the worldview we operate out of. And we just kind of wanted to start there to say, hey, as you're thinking about who we are and what we're going to be talking about, we'll probably just mention these things over and over and over. So let's just start there.
Yeah, that's so good. I think what makes every neighborhood partnership unique is that we do offer some direct services, but every direct service is undergirded by these concepts. And so hopefully we can give people a little peek behind the curtain of why we do what we do and how we do it.
Yeah. So we'll bring in some local folks that have shaped us and or people we kind of are joining alongside in this work. So
I'm so excited.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. High five.
Yes. We hope you guys enjoy What's Good in the Neighborhood with every neighborhood partnership. We're so excited. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.